Hello, Newport, and welcome to From the Desk of the Mayor. I am so pleased to be here with you again, and I thank NEK-TV for allowing us to film from the Desk of the Mayor on Tuesdays. Today we have an absolutely wonderful guest joining us, Gabryel Gianoni, except I say Gabriella, and I shouldn't have said that. It's Gabryel Gianoni.
Yeah.
See, immediately I change people's names.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, welcome.
Nice. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and we're going to be hearing from Gabryel about, well, the wonderful things that she's doing and some announcements. And first, I'd like to just tell you that we had a wonderful forum with the president of the council, Chris Vachon, on environmental issues. We are having another forum, which is a follow-up to our community policing forum on September 25th at the Gateway at 6 o'clock. And that forum will be on human trafficking and crime updates in Newport. And then in October, we will be having the follow-up to the forum we just had that President Chris Vachon hosted on the environmental issues and the water issues. So we have plenty more forums. It's all about you. We want you there. Your questions are phenomenal, and they just inspire us and help us get answers. So it's all about you, Newport. And right now, I'm going to turn it over to Gabryel, who works with the Memphremagog Watershed Association, and let's hear about everything she has to tell us and what's going on in Newport. It's all yours.
Hi, Newport. My name is Gabryel Gianoni. As mentioned before, I work for the Memphremagog Watershed Association, also known as MWA. We're located here in Newport on Main Street. We have very exciting news to tell today. We are launching our new project at Scotts Cove. It's a lakeshore enhancement project where we are removing just under 2.5 acres of Frag Mighties, which is also known as common reed canary grass. Excuse me. It's
That's okay.
Common reed grass. Okay, great. And do we want to do a little bit of talking back and forth?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's your show.
Okay, great. So this grass is very much invasive. It is it has been exposed to the Americas in the 1800s from Europe, and it has taken over terrestrial and aquatic habitats alike. It totally chokes out habitats and degrades fish habitat, wildlife habitat, and recreational access as well along the boardwalk.
So this is a huge project.
This is a huge project. Yeah, we're going to be really focusing on all of the water where the Phragmites is coming up. It's really dense. We're not able to even see the lakeshore from the shoreline because it is so tall and just totally choking out the habitat. And this is an ongoing effort that MWA is taking on since 2019. We have been working on removing invasive Phragmites on Proudy Beach, and we've had success. About 0.5 acres we were able to remove, and which is incredible. And these methods that we're doing are just called cut to drown. Okay. We're going up to the Phragmites when the water is high. We're cutting it about 6 to 4 inches below the water line and effectively drowning the Phragmites while it's trying to produce a really long culm or a seed head. And so we're just hacking that back before it can produce seed and spread it even more. We're going to remove all those invasive species materials because they do propagate through cutting. So like if even one or a few little pieces were able to spread out along a habitat, they could take root. Just like, any other vegetables we do via cutting, they will take root right at the node and start forming a whole new plant. So these plants colonize by clones. So they totally take over. Sometimes you can look at a Phragmites stand and it's a complete, like it's one plant because it has spread out so many clones and taken over completely.
How did you get involved in this?
I started with MWA last year in 2023, and I was very interested in invasive species removal. They were already working on it, and then I had an affinity towards improving these aquatic habitats, and I just really hit the ground running and got in on the Frag Mighties pulling parties that we put on, and yeah, it's something that's near and dear to my heart, and
Wow.
I really love recreating out on Lake Memphremagog, and Proudy Beach and Scotts Cove are awesome recreation opportunities, but they're just, totally invaded. So,
Well, thank you for this. Tell us more.
yeah. So, the Frag Mighties has been present along Proudy Beach for the last several years. It's been growing and spreading in, but what really made it explode is the addition of the recreational path, which is very unfortunate because this is a great, gem to the area. It connects multiple habitats and allows people to recreate across, along Lake Memphremagog itself. But because they came in and disturbed those roots, the roots actually, create those clones. They're advantageous. They just keep producing, and once you disturb those actually spread more. It creates the plant vigor increases. It means it spreads more and it's more aggressive. So when they get in there and they rip up these roots, it actually spreads more.
So when they do the bike paths and so on, should people be coordinating with you? Is there a coordination going on here, or do things just happen and then you end up with the result?
Okay, so we are doing this in a very much phased approach. We're starting on September 3rd of this year. We're working with Abraham Ames from Ames Ecologics LLC of Brownington, Vermont. He's a licensed professional. He's going to be working on 3 different areas, targeting the submerged plants in the water by doing that cut to remove method, by drowning them out and removing all the plant materials and disposing of them properly so they don't spread. We're going to be focusing on the area right between the water and the shoreline where you get a little bit of wave action. Those plants aren't always submerged in water, and he's going to focus on doing really targeted injections of those plants. So he'll cut the top of the plant and inject a small drip of herbicide into the plant itself. The plant is going to be cut high enough so no wave activities or any water has the opportunity to spread those chemicals around. And that's a very small area, and it's going to take a long time to focus on that. And then we're also going to be addressing the terrestrial Frag Mighties species, which are the ones that are on the land, that aren't submerged in water, and those are going to be treated with herbicide very carefully. We know that herbicide along waterways is very, very touchy subject. Again, he is a licensed applicator. He knows the rules and regulations behind it. He will be carefully spraying the larger patches where there's only Frag Mighties persistent, and then the areas where there's other native species around or water or sensitive habitats in the area, he'll spot spray the bases of the actual plants, and over the winter he'll go back and remove those stems so that they can, those unsightly stems are removed so you can actually see the lakeshore itself.
Yeah, so it's coordinated. We have an expert. People don't need to think, oh my God, Jurassic Park.
Exactly. Exactly. And then unfortunately, because of the scale of the project, we are treating the entire way along the boardwalk, on the shorelines on each side where the boardwalk connects. So we will be closing the boardwalk momentarily for a few days, and that will be a very much coordinated effort. When we get to that phase of the project, we will be having many, many notices and signs being posted on the project site. We will be reaching out to NEK-TV and other local news sources to make sure that all of the information is spread and everyone is receiving that so they know what to expect when they do go to Proudy Beach or Scotts Cove to recreate.
And I hope you come and let me know as well so we can get you on the agenda at the council and you can do an update presentation for the council and for the people in Newport as well.
That would be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that would be important. So tell us more.
Yeah. So like I said, this project is starting on September 3rd, and then we will continue through October of 2026. So we have grant funding through the Great Lakes Fisheries Commission, which is also granted through the Vermont Housing Conservation Board, VHCB. We also have some funds from the VORAC grant, which is Vermont Outdoor Recreation Economic Collaborative community grant, a mouthful, but an amazing grant opportunity, and that is funded through Vermont Department of Forests, Parks and Recs. And we are going to be having multiple Frag Mighties pulling parties. We do these yearly to make sure we're addressing, the population every year because these cut to drown methods, they aren't effective unless you are really on top of it and really addressing it in consecutive years, because you want to keep knocking back that plant until the roots just want to give up. And that's what we've been seeing at Proudy Beach along the dock itself. And our goals are to, after we are able to eliminate the terrestrial or the land-dwelling Phragmites, all of the lakeshore Phragmites that's kind of in the middle, those are going to be effectively diminished as well because of the herbicides so efficient. And then we plan on going back every year to keep working at the submerged Phragmites, because we know how it goes. We can't expect 100% kill rate, to be honest, because of these plants are just so aggressive. So we'll be going back and for multiple years and targeting those. And then as we see a decrease, we're going to be replacing those plants with native vegetation. We have planted native vegetation along the Proudy Beach. It's like a campground area by the Lakeshore Restoration area. Exactly. It's beautiful, and it's totally loaded now with native bulrush that was planted, and no Phragmites can find its way in because of the dense root system of the native plants. So it's wonderful at outcompeting this very competitive invasive plant. So we're planning on revegetating and trying to make the shoreline, back to its native state, if possible. Or we'll just try.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And I know it's a long project. So
yeah.
Other than some of these grants, do you have other funding? Who's helping you?
Oh yeah, so our this is a collaborative effort through with Memphremagog Watershed Association, all of our volunteers, as well as the City of Newport. We are really grateful for their support.
We're
a big fan of working with the City of Newport on all of our projects, and then also we are working with the Vermont Land Trust, because they own Bluffside Farm, and this is a project that they have also been really excited about for multiple years. They've been trying to work towards removal of this invasive species on their property, and it just lined up so well that everyone had the same goals. There was money that was available to get this going, and we will continue in the future to look for other grant opportunities to continue these efforts. As soon as we see this success, we'll just continue to work more money into the project efforts. And then our goals, not only to really focus on this 2.5 acres, we really want to spread further into and focus further into Scotts Cove along the other shorelines where we aren't targeting right now, and then also into the greater Lake Memphremagog area along the different docks and shores that are having infestations show up. I've been seeing them pop up in little spurts, and it's like, ooh, I got you on my notebook so I can come back for you, because I'd hate to see it explode as bad as it does anywhere else than at Scotts Cove.
Sure, it's like that game. What's that game where you bop them?
You whack-a-mole, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're on this. So this is fantastic. So tell us where we can even hear more about this. Are you planning any presentations? How do people find out about it?
Yes.
How do people get involved?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a press release very shortly. We just wrapped it up, and we're going to get it out to the appropriate news outlets. We're going to have posted signs and educational signs all over the project sites with QR codes to link to our website. We'll have a website page as well, so that you can learn more about the invasive plant, a little bit more about how to effectively treat it and manage it on your own property. We want to make sure that this information is spread as far as possible, because this invasive species spreads as far as possible. So we want to get ahead of it where we can, and just taking that out.
There you go.
Yeah.
So will it be layperson friendly? These are big words.
This is very much layperson friendly. It seems like it's pretty scientific and whatnot, but it really is very basic. A lot of these methods are cutting, putting some gloves on and cutting some stems below the waterline and literally putting them in a trash bag and tying that up and carrying it out.
And will there be like a community effort to assist at all?
Yeah,
are you planning something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe with the schools or something like that?
Yeah. So North County Union High School, they have been working with us the past few years to remove these Frag Mighties, and then also we want to have as many Frag Mighties pulling party events as possible. We have one scheduled for September 8th. During that first week of implementation, since we're starting on the 3rd after Labor Day, we will be trying to get the community involved on that Sunday on the 8th to come out and learn about Frag Mighties and learn how to remove it and how they can fit into this big effort. Yeah.
So if I wanted to come, you'd tell me how to put my gloves on. And
Yes, most definitely.
Don't touch your face. Don't do anything wrong, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Most of the efforts that we will be doing with the volunteers will be mechanical removal or just a hand pulling and cutting. We won't have anyone dealing with herbicide just because we need to be a licensed applicator. So we won't have any issues with touching your face or whatnot. But those plants can be sharp when you do rub your hands across them or try to pull it. So gloves are necessary.
Right. Well, this
keep
is
you safe.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're excited about this. I know the community is going to be extremely excited about this, and all of the energy that you're putting into it and bringing in the experts and really the safety and of our community, as well as the enjoyment and the opportunity to really enjoy our natural resources. And you're watching out for us.
Yes.
And how do we thank you for that? That is amazing. So they join you, and we need to help.
Yep.
And
that's all we ask, And also, if you're not able to help, just spread the good news,
Well, that's a help.
Teach people how to identify it. If you know what it looks like, point it out to other people. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, which is unfortunate. You drive through some states and you see it's completely, along every roadside, every, right-of-way corridor, just completely taken over roadways, railroadways, and water, habitats as well, wetlands, and riparian habitats. So
where will they find your press release? It'll be, where are you releasing it? On social media, but where else? Newspapers?
The local newspapers, yeah.
Okay, and will you send me a copy
I will
so
most
I can
definitely
also share it and get it out?
Yeah, I would
This is great. Anything else you want to tell us here? Keep going. It's all your time.
Oh, yeah. No, I think I've got it. Well, I just want to really hit on the project goals since I kind of breezed through all of that. Our project goals aim to enhance and restore natural lakeshore communities while also promoting those best management practices, focusing on removing those invasive species when you do detect them before they get to the point that they're unmanageable or they're just so difficult to manage that it takes these kind of large efforts to get the goal achieved. Another goal that we have are to improve Lake Memphremagog fisheries because these plants really grow in and choke out a habitat and disconnect local fish populations from reaching shallower waters for spawning and whatnot. We want to make sure that connectivity is great for them, but also to enhance our recreational opportunities as well. Like if you're looking out on the recreational path, you can see a teeny little path through the reed grass to get to Scott's Cove, and it's maybe some really brave kayakers or canoers pushing through, but it's really tight in there and not very exciting to be in there. And there's also a fishing access right there at that point as well. And I can't imagine that they're really getting, having a lot of fun getting their line caught up on these tall Frag Mighties. And
is that an area, the fishing access? Are most of the people who go there regular fishermen or fisher people? What do you call them? Fisher persons? Yeah. Or fly fishing? Or is fly fishing not appropriate there?
I'm not sure about fly fishing, but I have seen a handful of locals being down there every time I'm working, and they seem to, they're having fun. They're having a good time, but I really hope to improve the habitat for them, and hopefully more fish will come to that area for them as well.
Well, that's what's amazing. Well, these goals are achievable.
Yeah, they are. And no matter how long it takes, we're in it for the long haul. We're putting all of our efforts into the first 2 years, and then we're going to continue as long as we can. We're really trying to open up about 1,000 feet of lakeshore for recreational access opportunities. So it's going to be incredible to be able to get down there and actually utilize that habitat because there's not a lot of public space along the lake. We only have a little bit of the lake in America. So we got to really protect
that's
those.
Fair, right?
It's where the line is. We don't have as much lake where we are, but we have to protect all of our recreation opportunities, because that's what we do here. We really care about our land, and we really need to become those stewards that perpetuate those good management practices.
Are you working with the Canadian side at all, or in communication with them to see what's going on their side?
We do have partners over on the Canadian side. On this project, we are not partnered with them, but we would love to work with them in the future on invasive species management. Definitely,
okay, that's
to
good
get
to
a more of a whole lake holistic approach, and making sure that we're not just focusing on our side. Because
right. So when I meet with our fellow neighbors, it would be wise to mention you.
Yeah, and
just for knowledge and information sharing.
And we'll be sharing this information with our partners as well, so they can distribute it to their email lists and local partners as well, just to let everyone know what's going on in everyone's watershed.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I'm excited about this, and I'm glad you came on, and I can see you're definitely passionate about it.
Yes.
And so they have the right person handling this little project and being their PR person for it, and the safety precautions are there, and the experts are there, and I'm looking forward to see this happen.
Yeah, thank you.
So I do want everyone to know that we had our regular council meeting last evening, and we put through some new policies, and we handled some business, and I want everybody to know that we welcome your public comment during the specific agenda items, as long as they are germane to the agenda items. In the public comment area, please understand it's for public comment. It is not a venue for people to try to speak to city attorneys and debate or ask questions of our city attorneys. We welcome your comments, and we thank you for your comments, and we take comments that pertain to business that are appropriate, well in mind, and the council will consider them, and if it's appropriate, we will address them in the future or get back to you. Please come to my mayor's hours. They are on Monday mornings from 9 to 11 a.m. And I love the fact that you're all showing up, and you're coming with great ideas, and you're coming with great questions. And that is the open area where we can assist you with issues that may not be addressed immediately. We can help get you where you need to go to solve some problems. And we hear your ideas about what you are looking for in Newport. It's amazing. On Wednesdays from 9 to 11 a.m., that is the time where I do it by appointment, because sometimes I have to go to different sites, so I can't actually be sitting at the council room the entire time. So remember, Wednesdays are by appointment. I look forward to announcing soon about my new venue that's going to be happening. It's going to be the Walks with the Mayor, and I thank a couple of my constituents for recommending that as well. And I will be going around, hopefully with some residents or anyone who wants to join me, and we are going to go to the businesses in Newport. Let's meet them. Let's bring them some customers. Let's talk about them. Let's find out what they need in Newport. So I will be announcing those times and dates shortly. Newport, I thank you. I thank you for your confidence. I thank you, Gabryel, for joining us. We've got you, Newport. Our council members are working hard, and so are our employees. So thank you, Newport, and have a wonderful week.